This is WYGG 88.1 FM, Asbury Park.
We all can agree that raising a family in these times is challenging. With everything being so exposed and accessible through social media and the influence that come along with it, how do we find the balance?
Does your child feel confined and has no outlet?
Sasha, meet me in the bathroom so we can take our Instagram pics, because you know once I get home they won't let me out.
Would your child come to you when they need help?
Mom, I'm in trouble and I don't know what to do.
Do you know the signs when your child is crying out for help?
Mickelson, you don't listen. The school has called me and now I have to attend another school meeting. This time you lose your video games for 2 months.
Do you and your family need access to resources?
I lost my job. How will we get our bills paid?
Does your family have expectations and boundaries for mutual respect and understanding?
I am the man of the house, but my family does not respect me.
Finally, a show where families can feel supported and get resources for guidance during these troubled times. Presented to you by Good News Community Action. Family Matters, a radio show, aired every Saturday afternoon from 4 p.m. to 5 p.m. A new segment discussing all things and situations relating to families. Family Matters Discussions, a radio show for everyone to listen together.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Family Matters on Good News Radio. That's right. Sing along to the song. We are family. That's right. We are all family here at Good News Radio. I'm so happy to be here with you on Family Matters, presented to you every Saturday from 4 to 5 through Good News Community Action, which is Good News Radio's nonprofit organization. It is a blessing, an honor, and a privilege to be here. We had a nice little surprise this morning when we woke up. It was so beautiful outside. So we give glory to God because all things that He does is beautiful, right? He makes all things beautiful in His time. So we were very happy. It was the kind of snow. And by the way, you guys, I know I'm just jumping into the conversation. Guess who's back with us for today? What a blessing, what an honor, what a nice surprise. I'm so happy to have Monty here with us.
Hey guys, it's awesome to be here with you today. I am so happy to be back. I am happy to be out here, and this song is so appropriate because that's exactly how I feel. My media family out there, that's enjoying this beautiful day. I had the opportunity to be out there at 4 o'clock in the morning before it was touched. It was beautiful, beautiful. Only thing I needed was my snowboard. I can't just roll to work on my snowboard.
Yeah. It was very lovely. As I was saying, it's the kind of snow that's not annoying, that's not dangerous.
Well,
it's just very pretty, nice, fluffy, right?
For some people, any kind of precipitation or anything outside the norm is just annoying. But when you love nature, you love the beauty of God. It's just you just have to appreciate the hand of God and the things that He does or He's done. It was so beautiful and picturesque this morning, guys. It was so beautiful, just powder everywhere, untouched.
So I hope you guys were able to take some pictures to have some nice memories of today's snowstorm, which was not a bother at all. So again, welcome to Family Matters. This is the way to listen to us. GoodNewsRadioTV.com, Facebook, WYGG Good News Radio, or via telephone 518-906-1596. So if you are listening on Facebook, we ask that you give us a thumbs up, like us, and follow us, and leave us some encouraging words or suggestions as you may have them. So Good News Radio is a listener-supported station, which means we need your support, your financial, your tangible support in order to stay on the air. So if you can support us, we ask that you mail your checks or bring your cash to 414 Asbury Avenue, Asbury Park, or you can send your cash to Cash App, which is 908-489-9820. Bonsoir tout le monde, bienvenue dans Ça fait famille. Moi c'est Elna. Jodi nous ensemble avec Monty, li retourner pour ensemble avec nous jodi. Bon Dieu te fait grâce pour Kala, il était salué nous tout à l'heure. Non, nous besoin faire nous connaître qui gens que nous écouter programme ça, on écouter sur ordinateur ou sur goodnewsradiotv.com, sur Facebook ou aller WYGG Good News Radio. Ou bien, on peut aller numéro de téléphone 518-906-1596. On a fait tout le monde connaître que Radio Bonne Nouvelle, c'est une radio qui supportait de monde qui a écouté radio. Ça veut dire que si que, nous voulons continuer à radio, tout programme qui est sur radio, il faut que nous voyons support nous. Si que nous voulons voir chèque nous ou bien voir l'argent nous pouvons voir sur 414 Asbury Avenue, Asbury Park. Ou bien sur Cash App 908 489 9820. Cash App encore 908 489 9820. So après écrire un chèque, on écrit chèque là pour Good News Community Action. Good News Community Action. All right, so as always, we always welcome you guys to call in if you have questions for us, if you want to partake in the discussion that we're going to be having today. The phone number to do so, you can call anytime. The phone number to do so is 732-775-0220, 732-775-0225. Nous disons bienvenue à tout le monde. Si que nous besoin participer à notre discussion que nous allons faire à l'heure, nous dit que vous pouvez aller sur le numéro de téléphone 732-775-0220, 732-775-0225, ou pouvez aller n'importe où. So I had some programs for you guys, especially the migrant people that are here. Tout le monde qui est venu dans les États-Unis, qui immigrant, qui fait immigrer dans les États-Unis, il y a un programme qui est disponible pour nous. Si que nous besoin d'aide, dans toute qualité d'aide que nous avons besoin, chercher un travail, chercher support social service, éducation, programme éducation ou bien programme santé, donc pour gagner assurance, tout bagay comme ça, transportation, ou besoin de monde pour avocat pour rad, tout bagay que nous avons besoin de monde qui fait immigrer venir dans les États-Unis. Nous avons un numéro de téléphone, nous avons relais, programme ça arrivé dans Monmouth County tout. So, nous avons pour relais, numéro de téléphone 973 405 62 62 973 405 62 62 et puis on va peser extension 230. Okay, so the city of Asbury Park is having a girls basketball open registration for ages 10 to 16. This is on Saturday, so you can go to the Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Middle School gym on Saturdays to register your 10 to 16-year-old to participate in the basketball games or the basketball program that the city of Asbury Park is having. So again, if you're interested in registering your child to play basketball, it's good to do sports, right? It's good to stay active.
Absolutely.
It helps with development, right?
Yes.
So we encourage all of our young people to remain actively engaged in some sort of sports activities, because when you're, engaged in something formal, then you're not getting in trouble. You don't have an idle mind, right?
Absolutely.
What does the
It
Bible
helps.
say about an idle mind?
Yeah, that was workshop, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yes, absolutely.
So,
Especially with our children, especially in today's, and not to mention it's like the being involved in some type of sport helps with the body, mind, and soul development. It builds character, it builds development, it builds
Yeah.
discipline.
yeah.
It builds confidence. So where you end up overcoming something that you thought you couldn't do before.
That's right.
It brings a lot more to your life when
That's
you're
right.
able to do sports and get involved in sports.
That's right. And when they put on programs like this that benefits the community, I want you guys to actively engage. I want you to take advantage of it, because if you don't show like you're interested in stuff like this, they're not going to do it. Okay. So I'm going to move on now to a job announcement. So there's going to be a job fair that's going to take place on February 24th from 1 to 3 p.m. It's going to be at the Interfaith Neighbors Launch Center, which is located at 1201 Springwood Avenue, unit number 105. It's the Starfield Companies and Sardoni Construction who are looking for a team of members from Asbury Park to support the development of 226 multifamily rental apartments and townhomes associated with the Surf House Asbury Park Development Project on Kingsley Street, which is between 3rd and 4th Avenue in Asbury Park. So now there's going to be job opportunities because they're constructing 226 multifamily rental apartments and townhomes in Asbury Park. So on 2/24 from 1 to 3 p.m., they're going to have the job fair, and they're looking for landscapers, plumbers, electricians, framing, masonry, drywall, roofing, siding, windows, painting, and all other related fields. If you can imagine, they're building 226 multifamily rental apartments and townhomes from scratch, from the ground up, which means there's a lot of work opportunities. So if you are interested, just show up with your resume or show up at the Interfaith Neighbors Launch Center, 1201 Springwood Avenue, unit number 105 on 224 from 1 to 3 p.m. so you can get work if you are looking for work and you are skilled in what they're looking for. Na Cité Asbury Park ap cherche moun ki pou travay nan konstitusyon, yo a fait job fair février 24 1h pour 3h. Li nan Interfaith Neighbors 1201 Springwood Avenue, unit numéro 105. Y a cherché moun pour aider à construire 226 appartements ensemble avec townhome dans cité Asbury Park, pour côté Kingsley Street, pour côté 3e ensemble avec 4e avenue dans Asbury Park. So y a fait job fair là pour yo chercher moun qui compte peinturer, qui mette roof dans kai, siding, drywall, électricien, moun qui ka fait plumbing, moun qui ka fait landscape dehors. Si que nous gagnons qualité formation ça ou bien nous gagnons skill ça, nous can aller février 24 février 1h pour 3h dans 1201 Springwood Avenue, unit numéro 105. Allez avec résumé nous, allez et puis il a fait interview pour nous. Et puis, nous allons commencer le travail. All right, so I think, okay, so Neptune, right? Neptune is having their program called World Changers, okay? So the World Changers program is like a paint and rehab program that's available to Neptune residents who meet the income guidelines. So basically, if your house is looking a little like it needs a little pick me up, a little maintenance or whatever on the outside. So they have this program. You have to apply for it by April 9th. The application, we have it. So if you guys are interested, feel free to reach out to us and we will give you the application. If you meet the income guidelines, you can have your home repaired, based on what they're offering, the outside of your home, that is, not the inside. Through the township, because they have grants available to help you do that. So, for example, if you are a family of 4, you cannot make more than $104,000. So, most family of 4s are not making that, So I imagine a lot of people would qualify for this. So, if you think you're interested in something like this, you own a home in Neptune and you need the outside of your home painted or fixed up a little bit, you can apply and have your home rehabbed. Okay, so Neptune gagne un programme, yo laisse à World Changers 2024. C'est un rehab programme, yo ka pentire de kayo, pa de yo. Mais faut qu'on éligible. Donc, si vous sont une famille qui gagne 4 mois, vous ne pouvez pas faire plus que $104,000 par année. So, si quelqu'un qui croit que vous êtes éligible pour ça, vous avez appliqué, vous gagnez une application sur le website, ou bien nous pouvons faire une application si vous relevez nous. Nous pouvons prendre le téléphone et puis nous pouvons joindre. Okay? So, this month, I haven't said anything about Black History Month this whole month. And we're in the middle of the month. I haven't said anything about Black History Month. But this is our 3rd Saturday.
It is.
Where we talk about Black history anyway. So happy Black History Month, everyone.
Absolutely.
Who's listening. So the month of February is Black History Month.
Absolutely.
And we don't want to not,
celebrate
remember that.
Exactly. Exactly. We do all the fighting for it. We do all the accolades for it. We need to make sure that when it comes time for us to celebrate it, that we should celebrate it.
That's right.
And celebrate it. And these are times that we should start trying to come up with some type of programs. These are times that we should start, trying to come up with some type of programs to get together with our brothers and sisters.
Oh,
you know what I'm saying?
Neptune does it all the time. For example, there's going to be the Neptune Black History Month celebration also on August 24th.
Yeah.
And it's going to take place at the Michael T. Lake Performing Arts Center.
Right.
The doors are open at 1 p.m. The program is from 2 to 4. They're doing, this year it's a little different. It's not like a full performance type of thing.
Right.
It's like a mix and mingle. So they're going to view student artwork and enjoy music.
Awesome, nice.
And so much more. And they have the guest host for the show is going to be Dr. Bob Lee from WBLS Radio. So I hope you guys are able to participate. And by the way, it's the 50th anniversary of hip hop. This year's the 50th anniversary of hip hop.
Wow.
Yeah, so the whole Black History theme this year.
Right.
The whole Black History theme this year is on arts. Okay?
Very nice.
So, in February, whenever we think about February, we think about 2 holidays, right?
President's Day.
Yeah.
What's the other word?
Well, I was going to say Valentine's Day.
Oh, yeah, that one too.
Yeah. I don't really think about President's Day.
I don't think about
being
that
honest with you.
Yeah.
Black History Month and that's what you associate February with. So it's the annual celebration of achievements of African Americans, recognizing the central role that African Americans played in the U.S. history, right? The history of the United States. So it's also known as African American History Month. So this was from, it came out of what was called the Negro History Week. Okay. And this was through Carter G. Woodson. He was the one who was prominent in bringing that about. So since 1976, the U.S. has been celebrating Black History Month, it was made official by the U.S. president, who was president at the time. And other countries around the world also celebrate Black History Month as well, like Canada, United Kingdom. So they also devote celebrating Black History Month during this time as well. So this year's theme, as I was saying, is going to be the African American and the arts, African Americans and the arts. So when you think about art, you know, all the wonderful things that's associated with art, singing, you know, not just like beautiful landscapes or drawings or paintings and things like that, but all kinds of talent, you know.
Culture.
So culture. Yeah. So all of that, like fashion is part of it, visual performance is part of it, literature is part of it, fashion, I said fashion, folklore, language and film, music, architecture, culinary.
Exactly.
Right? We love our culinary.
We love our food.
Right? And all sorts of cultural expression. So we are...
Don't forget dance.
Dance, of course. Visual performance.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Right? So if you guys want to join in and tell us, you know, what you think about this year's theme for Black History, and tell us what would you have to contribute towards, you know, like let's say there was a program that was put on like Neptune is doing on the 24th. What would be your contribution if you were called upon to provide your cultural or artistic contribution towards the program? What would be yours?
Mine, probably spoken word.
Yeah. I could totally see that.
Yeah,
it would be nice
poems.
too.
Yes. And there's so much to say at this time, especially to encourage and improve our people, and for us, our people to put their heads up and stand up and really just stick our chest out, lift our heads up, and reach for the clouds, because it's there for us to do.
That's right.
There is so much and so many people out there right now. There are so many people out there right now of us that are trying to reach out and teach others how to come up, but people are so afraid to step outside of their norm or step outside of their comfort zone to really find out what these things are about. But we really need to start looking in those directions and start trying to find out, how do I take care of my money? What is money all about? How do I take care of my household? How do I set up generational wealth? How do I set up wealth for my family and generational wealth for the rest of my family for years to come? You know, these are so many things, you know, that we as a people really miss out on, and we suffer and not learn how to live because we're so afraid to live. We're so afraid to hear or to listen to anybody. It's not just about work all the time. If we're not out there making some type of dent in something, if we're not out there speaking our words or making our words heard, you don't exist.
Right.
You don't exist.
Right.
And how can we complain if we don't exist?
Right. You're part of like that herd, you know, just following along and going along with whatever's going on.
What do they do with the herd? They brand it and claim it their own. But if you're going to be more than just a herd, if you're going to be more than just sheep, and you're going to, you know, you want something for yourself and for your family and for others around, you got to speak up. And we have to, you know, another thing that we have really gotten away from, which is, I love the song that you started out with family. We've really gotten away from that. And when I say that, I'm talking about not just your inner causal family, which the whole system has been set up to break that up. So it's breaking up the inner family, and it's definitely breaking up the outer family. You know, I remember we used to have like block mothers and so forth and so on. You know, people who watched out for your kids or something. Now,
from the mentality that it takes a village, right?
Exactly.
Right. Everyone was looking out for each other, you know, and it wasn't to get the child in trouble.
Exactly.
It was to make sure, that your child was safe, that you were aware what was going on, and so that you can address your
Because
household.
people actually cared. They really cared. We cared
Yeah.
about each other. We cared about our children. We cared that our children was doing right and that they weren't in trouble or in danger. You know, so it was us looking out for each other, because this is something that's been a part of us forever, that we had to work.
Yeah.
Families just had, the mothers, fathers, everybody just had to work. You know, so when you're at work, who's looking out for your kids?
Right.
You know, so
Right. Nowadays, everybody just keeps to themselves, and everybody's tight-lipped, because they're operating of the mentality, snitches get stitches, but you're not snitching. That's not what you're doing.
Oh my goodness.
So if I were to participate in something like that, I think I would sing a song, right?
Yeah.
I think I would probably sing like the Black National Anthem. By the way, some people are very upset that the Super Bowl, since I forget how long, I think 2016, they've been having a performer perform the Black National Anthem song during the Super Bowl.
Right.
Right. It's sung first, I think, before I didn't watch the Super Bowl this year. I was not interested. But when I did watch it in years past, I think it was first before the Star Spangled Banner, or before they do the soldiers and stuff.
Right,
What they do with the flags and all the
Right.
air rifles and things, and blowing up the planes that go up in the air.
Right.
Anyways, so some people are upset, and they're like, "There's no Black National Anthem. We have a national anthem. What is this Black National Anthem?" Or for those of you who don't know, I think it's Lift Every Voice and Sing, right? That's the Black National Anthem. So yeah, I would sing that. How do I feel about that? Whether or not there is a Black National Anthem or there is just a national anthem.
I'm as I'm listening to you talk about this, and I've been around for a long time. I've heard a lot of things, I've seen a lot of things, and it's not the first time I've heard of this. But I haven't. It's interesting that you say that, because I never really thought about it.
Yeah.
What
I
really
kind of
feel
get
about
their
it.
point, because we were supposed to be one nation, right? One group
Yeah.
of people, right?
Yeah. They'll give you started.
Right. So, that's what the money says, one nation under God,
okay.
right?
The money says that we believe in God too. What
Yeah.
God you talking about?
Yeah, that's what it's supposed to be. So, to kind of like separate, like, okay, Black people have this song, that's their national anthem, and then everybody else has this other song. So I kind of understand why they're doing that, though, because the other song, if you look up the history of that song, right? The words in that song, it's not friendly. It's not inclusive of everybody. As a matter of fact, some would say that it's racist, the Star Spangled Banner, right? So, and I think that's part of the reason why there were some protests when the song would be sung. Some people would like kneel on the football field. You remember that?
Yes,
from
absolutely.
back in the day. I don't know if they're still doing that now. Like I said, I didn't watch the Super Bowl.
Well, that's what the thing with that was basketball, but some other people did it too. But they made a huge big old thing with Kaepernick.
Yeah.
When he did it, but yeah.
Yeah. So a lot of people can't relate to the Star Spangled Banner, so they can relate to Lift Every Voice and Sing. That's a very like positive, and like it's like lift every voice and sing till earth and heaven ring with the harmony of liberty. Like it's just beautiful. The lyrics are beautiful, and it's inclusive of everybody. Everyone can relate. The other song, if you look at the history of it,
Typical.
it's not so much. There are some serious, deeply rooted, unkind things that were happening at the time when that song was written, and by whom it was written, and the reason behind it.
Exactly.
Okay, so people, as much as they try to hide history,
Yes.
people know history. you know, and we know how to research it and to find it and to learn. And so if I don't know, it's whatever people are comfortable with. I say, you know, if they're not comfortable with that song because it hurts, you know.
If you look at it hurts. Well, I try to tell you not to get me started, but some people just don't want people. It's interesting that people. Oh, we used to have everything. Things was much better back in the day. Things were different. In some ways, it was. In some ways, it was. But on the other hand, there was segregation, and oh my God, the genocide and so forth and so on that took place. And you know, you speak about history. Throughout history from Africa, Egypt, and all the way to now, we have always been a loving and accepting people.
Yeah.
We have always been an all-encompassing people, not looking at this world that it belongs to us only,
Right.
but to other people as well.
Right.
And we accepted people. However, it's a blessing and a curse at the same time.
Yeah.
Because by the way we accept people and others so much, it goes against us to an extent.
Yeah.
We have to come to a point where we learn and understand how to love and accept people, and sometimes from a distance.
Yeah.
Because when you realize that other people will not are not encompassing or loving you or seeing you as different and don't want they don't want the same things that you want as far as being all encompassing, and they want to they want to be inclusive. They want to take things or have things or keep things for themselves.
Yeah. Selfish.
And then make you subservient to them in because now this is ours. They come and take while we give, and we give so much to the point we no longer have.
Right.
And now they have it all.
Yeah.
And then they want to make it seem as though it all belongs to them, and it always belongs to them. Take away your life and your genealogy. Like I said, genocide. Killing your genealogy. And then therefore we're lost.
Yeah.
We're lost.
From the beginning, it's been psychological warfare.
Yes, exactly.
Against, I don't know any other group that's been more oppressed than Black culture, Black people.
You will have people argue that Jews were enslaved.
They were,
or
yes, they were, but
and so forth and so on, and they were. And there is a time when white people were slaves that you don't hear about that much or whatever. But that was the case too. But like you said, there's never ever been a people that has been enslaved and oppressed like we have, as much as we have, up until this very day.
moment. That's what I was going to say. Like other people, the world recognized that there was something wrong that happened. It was horrible, and they were they recognized that it happened. They talked about it.
Right.
You can read about it in the history books, the way that it happened. Right. They have faces to the names of the actors, the bad actors and the good actors, all alike, right? All the same in the book, and they're able to teach, generation after generation. It's the same thing that's being taught, right? And so it doesn't get lost. And then there's been reparations that were made. There was this. With the recognition, that means a lot to recognize that something did happen, right? And now that we recognize something did happen, let's try to make that wrong right.
Right.
So they've done that with other groups, But I have not seen that happen. As a matter of fact, they're peeling the layers back with all of the hard work a lot of these, Black activists have done, like Martin Luther King and Malcolm X, and all the rest of them,
Right.
Rosa Parks, Maya Angelou, everybody who's worked really hard. The one senator. He used to always say, let's give him some good trouble. John Lewis,
Yes.
yeah, he passed away a few years ago. All the work that's been done to bring about legislation, right, to
Yes.
change, to improve the quality of life for, Black people, a lot of it is being taken away right now.
Yeah. Yeah.
They
You
did away
find-
with affirmative action. They did it quietly. I don't think anyone talked about it. Like no one was in an uproar. That's a big thing. They took that away, right? And voting rights are in trouble, left and right, everywhere you go. People died to be able to vote.
Yes.
They were ridiculed. They were traumatized. They
If
went
you
through so
don't-
much, and then for you to just take it away.
Yeah, yeah. We have to understand something, and I wish there was more people listening. But for those of you that are listening, I wish and I hope that you are listening, that you're really listening, that you're taking this to heart, and that you open up your eyes and see how things are playing out. And unfortunately for those of us who have, and I really am about to get into a controversial situation, but think about right before COVID happened, when all the marches, when we were coming together, after Black Panther and everything else,
and
and
during George Floyd,
Yes,
when
yes.
the police officer killed him right there in
all the
broad
marches
daylight.
and all the raids that was starting to come up and standing, we came out in droves. We came out in thousands. We shut down places. We did, and this, I can hear them say, that's like I've read in books before and information before about when certain things happened and they felt like they gave us too much power.
But it
They gave
wasn't
us
just
too
in the
much
U.S.
freedom.
that people were coming out. People
No,
were marching
no,
all over the
all
world.
over the world.
All over the world.
But-
Canada,
but
France,
what-
everywhere.
But absolutely. But what gave them presence? What gave them the feel? What gave them the reason or the ability to feel as though they could do that? It was us. We started marching all over the place, and then everybody else all over the world started marching all over the place. And people were saying that we're fed up with this injustice. We're fed up with this mess that you
Right.
keep on trying to shove down our throats and tell us that and have water coming on our head, and you're trying to sit there and trying to tell us it's raining. When it's
Right.
not raining, we know what it is. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? So as people began to really step out and step up, and this is something that they are really afraid of, that they have been concerned about for some time, and now. Here it is, people were finally stepping up and doing so.
Yeah.
Now, right after all that happens, what happened? COVID. And they pushed the shot.
Everybody back to your own
They
corners.
pushed the shot.
No coming together.
And they pushed the shot.
Everybody, you got to stay in your homes
Right.
and be isolated.
That was that's a psychological part.
Be afraid
Yeah.
to come out
Be very
because
afraid.
you might die.
I want you
know?
so afraid that you run and get this control shot. That's what I'm gonna call it, control shot. And now here it is, things happening like what you mentioned, affirmative action has happened. Different things, people are coming out what they call Karens and so forth and so on. They're not just people, they're soldiers. They've come out to test to see how you're going to give up or give in or however the case may be.
Right.
How much are you going to stand up now? Are you going to come out now? Are you going to, what's happening? Is the shot working? So you see, here is the thing. It's all about control. Because the fact of the matter is, prior to, it was a big alarming number of people who stopped taking those shots.
That's right. That's right. Because we like I said, with the internet, with knowledge and information right there at your fingertips, we can look stuff up too.
Yeah.
We can
And,
read.
and learn how to put 1, 2, and 2, and 3. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And so we learned about what they put in those vaccines, and
Yes.
some people are not okay with that,
Yes.
injecting something like that in their body or in their children. So, but I want to remind everyone that you're listening to Family Matters on Good News Radio 88.1 FM. Fait tout le monde songe qui n'a pas écouté Radio Bonne Nouvelle, ça fait famille sur 88.1 FM. Moi, c'est Elna, Manti là ensemble avec nous. Et puis, aujourd'hui, on a discuté sujet Black History, histoire moun noir na Amerika. So, my topic today is Black history is American history. Oh wow, it's almost time and I'm just not giving my topic. It's Black history is American history, okay? And also I want you guys to remember and never forget that Black history is American history. Okay? Because when this country was founded, right? We were here. We probably came here unwillingly against our will, but we were here. And who built up this country, right? Who built all the buildings, the White House, okay? All of those monuments, everything that you see. And a lot of the stuff that you're enjoying today, came from Black inventors and Black workers. There was a thing where everybody that was working in America was a Black person. So who gets the credit for all this wonderful stuff, the building of the country? I mean, like, open your eyes and think about it for a minute. They brought Black people on the ships to come and work this country, to work the fields and to serve and to do everything you can think of. But who gets the credit for the country, the nation being built and being, what it is?
And even more so to the point, what I really want to bring out there, what you're talking about, or what you they brought us here, they put us in servitude and slaves and so forth and so on. But along with that came the brilliance of our minds and our unbreakable wills. Along with that came, like you said, our people with the ability or the gifts of arts and so forth and so on. And they loved it. And they used it. And they stole it. And they went after it. A lot of many things, like you're saying, from entertainment, music, TV, sports. Oh God, let's not talk about sports. Inventions, everything that's around. So much of it, even things that you see that we have, our telephones and things that we work with. Many of those ideas and inventions came from us, and they would take our ideas, use them, put them to work, make money with them. And we would not
give themselves the credit.
Exactly. Exactly. Even to now, you don't hear much. I'm looking at and learning now even more myself. There's a lot of things I know about, but there is so much more that we don't know that Black people were a part of the invention or was the inventors. And we have no idea that we're the ones who did this.
Yeah, and they keep it hidden because you can't elevate, them. They can't be elevated. Then they'll think there's something, right?
Well,
so here's
this
this
restitution.
Quote. Here's this quote, right? This is from Dr. Mae Jemison, the first African-American female astronaut. She said, never be limited by other people's limited imaginations. Pinka nou jam kite limite, pinka nou kite lot moun limite imaginasyon nou. C'est ça, Dr. Mae Jemison. qui était premier African American astronaute femme dans le pays, li di. Pingano jam kite moun mette limite sou nou. What do you think about that, Monty? Never be limited by other people's limited imaginations.
If you think about it, out of all the people that were out before, I love the poem Rise. I shall rise, you know. If you allow yourself to be limited by what other people say, if you think about a lot of basketball players, football players, we're going back to the sports now, and it, like I said, building up that confidence, building up that ability, finding out yourself that you have something, a gift of something that you never really realized that you had, and that you could go much further than you ever thought you could. And then you start testing your own limits, and you start realizing that you don't have any, that you can keep going and going.
Like Michael Jordan, right? My
You know
goodness.
what I'm saying? They used to say the man flew.
Yeah.
You know,
I've
so
seen it.
but you see, the thing about it is that we have gotten so far or come so to the point where we're so afraid to do the work. Michael Jordan put in the work.
He did.
Maya Angelou put in the work.
Yes, she did.
Singers and so forth and so on. When you learn how to use your vocal cords and so forth and so on, like a guitar
Like
or
an
whatever.
instrument, yeah.
Exactly. And you tone them things. You learn how to take care of it. You know what to eat and what not to eat.
Yeah.
You learn different things in different aspects of everything. You learn how to speak, and when using poems, you know how to put words together, and to make it people make people feel something that they never really felt before, or understand something they couldn't understand before, or when people they couldn't hear somebody else, they hear you with the lyrics of the words that are coming from your mouth, and touching them in the ways and putting their minds in different ways. They now can see things that they couldn't see before in a different way. It opens up your mind like a flower, right? So it's amazing what we can do when we step out on who we really are. There are no true limits for us. We limit ourselves.
We do.
We limit ourselves, especially when we believe others that say
We believe
you
their
can't.
lies. We believe their lies.
Exactly.
And they're telling you lies because they know they can't, so they're going to try to put you down.
Exactly.
So that you could start believing the lie, and now you're living the lie.
Exactly.
And when you're living the lie, they've succeeded.
Yeah. Exactly. And that's what, it comes down to what it comes down to. The truth of the matter is, and I have to say this because I am who I am. The truth of the matter is that we are a godly people.
That's right.
We are a people of God, and when you are that people, which is the reason why we are also welcoming and so forth and so on, whatever. But at the same time, we are a godly people. When you're a godly people and you have the God, there is a song that I recently learned. I serve a big God, a very big God. So he walks inside of me, walks on the side of me. When you go around with that true belief and that thought or whatever, what can stop you? What can hinder you?
Yeah. The Bible also says that we are fearfully and wonderfully made. And because we were made in the image of God, right?
Yes.
What does the Bible call God? Wonderful. Jesus is called wonderful.
Wonderful, yes.
And we were fearfully and wonderfully made, meaning we were made after his likeness.
Yes.
Made us just a little bit lower than himself. So that means we also have power. We also have authority.
Yes.
So let's start believing in that as opposed to, the negative things that people say about you.
The power of your words. What are you filling your mind with? What are you filling your soul with? What are you filling your spirit with? You're talking and saying things day in and day out. You sing these songs, which even Michael Jackson himself said these are mantras, mantras that you sing over and over. You're just speaking to yourself over and over again, and then you start believing and thinking these things yourself. You put yourself in your own, and it's on your own. They have us putting our own selves in our own hypnotic trance,
Yes.
for them to control us.
Yes. Yes.
Right? So, it's a matter of, like I said, waking up. And this is something I pray for all the time. We are a people of a God that has created and put together all things, set things in motion for eons and years and years and eons to come, to continue going forth over and over and over and over again.
He's a designer.
You get some people who put together dominoes and so forth and so on. They think how long it's taking to do it. Then they hit one domino, and it goes and and the whole thing comes
that's
down.
art.
The whole thing comes down. But now you got to do it all over again. He set things
Too much time. Too much time on his hands.
He set things in perpetual motion for it to continue to happen regardless, over and over and over again, without him having to do another thing.
Right.
Wow. He spoke a word and
right.
And it happens over and over.
That's what I'm going to talk about later. Yeah. Wow, that's wonderful.
Yeah.
So here's another one from Coretta Scott King.
Yes.
She said, hate is too great a burden to bear.
Yes.
It injures the hater more than it injures the hated.
Absolutely.
What do you think about that?
Hate is a very strong, vile emotion.
Yeah.
And I say emotion, but it's more than that. It becomes more than that. There's a positive hatred, where you hate things that are not good. You hate not being able to be right or not to do things right or whatever the case may be. And then there's the hatred that's not positive, where you're just hating on people. You're just hating on people. You're hating other things. You're hating yourself. You're hating your own kind, right? Those are things that are not positive, and that hatred is more than just. And see, people are going to you're getting too deep. No, that's the truth. It is deep. It's deep, and it's not. It's so simple that it's extremely deep, right? That hatred, and it's because it's what others and the enemy does not want you to realize. That hatred is actually a spirit.
Yeah, it is.
It's actually a spirit. And when you operate in this spirit, it multiplies itself.
Yeah.
And and after a while, before you know it, and see, if you notice, you think about it. Anybody listening to me, listen to me. Anybody listening to me, if you think about any time that you became so angry a person, you just get to the point where you just hate him, I can't stand him, and it's like, without you even remembering what you were angry about in the first place. It's been years, a long time, but you can't, and the veil of it, the virality of it.
It's just that poem at the first time.
It's just you're frothing at the mouth. You're just angry. Like, what in the world is that person? I don't know. I don't remember, but I know I don't like him.
Wow.
Right?
Wow.
I don't know what happened. I don't remember, but I know I don't like it. I don't like that thing or whatever.
And they have no idea. So what would happen? Because I often think about, these are the things that I think about, like in terms of injustice and people hating one another.
Yes.
What would happen if all of a sudden we had an influx of life from another planet and they were coming up against the human race, right?
Right.
So what would happen? Would we retreat to our own corners? Okay, well, this group of people over here and this group of people over here, and you fight them on your own, and you over here, you fight them on your own. Wouldn't we come together as a human race to combat the enemy forces?
See, this is why God allows things to happen when he does. This is why he's allowed us to be enslaved so many times, because we had to get to the point where we realize and see who he is and what he is, or for that matter, who we are. We had to come back together. You have to come together. People get to a point where they think that they're so much more superior and so forth and so on until the world falls apart, and then reality happens. The whole thing, the same thing happened during COVID. You know what I'm saying? You learn that you're not all that you thought you were, because and you don't have everything. All that you think you have don't mean a hill of beans.
Nothing. It means absolutely.
What it really comes down, exactly. What it really comes down to is your brother and your sister. Yeah, remember Katrina? Oh my goodness! The beauty of Katrina, the beauty of Katrina was bringing people back together. It brought people out of the houses and so forth, and out of the homes, and brought people back together. And we had to work together. In order to survive.
Right.
And that's what it happens. That's what it's all about. If something like that were to happen, then my enemy of my enemy is my friend.
Right. And I say, for people who hate another human being, you're kind of hating yourself.
Exactly.
You know, that's the way I look at it.
Exactly. Because the fact of the matter is that it comes from the Bible scripture in James, where it says that where does these fightings and wars come from? Do they not come from amongst yourself? Do they not come from amongst your own self, where you are hating or angry from within yourself, or something that you don't like that they did, just because you didn't want it to happen? The fact of the matter is that a lot of times we don't like somebody or something about somebody is because of something that is in our own minds, and we're making preconceived notions on that person, and we label them with it, without really finding out who they are, what they're about, or why they do the things they do.
Right, because a child is born not knowing anything about race, not knowing anything about skin color, or there's a difference, you know?
They notice differences. They ask why the differences. But the fact of the matter is, they don't care about those differences. That's my friend.
Right, exactly. That's what they said. That's my friend. You know,
they don't see anything different.
And we see it, like, when they're little. Yes, they're very friendly. You know, all kids of different shades. You know, playing together, and they love each other. You know, but as they get older, you see how they kind of like retreat to their own kind. Everybody to their own kind, and we need to work against that. That bond that was formed when they were little, that needs to continue on, because that's the way that we're going to bring about change, true change, right? For everybody to work together and care for one another. So there were some other quotes that I had here. It's almost time to go, but real quick, Dr. Martin Luther King said, "The time is always right to do what is right." So, you know, I mean, that's pretty straightforward.
On that note, I want to say this, and probably in our closing, I want to say this. It is always time to do right. The right time is always time to do right. So, and you asked the question earlier, how do we do this? How do we go about this? Well, the fact of the matter is, first of all, I don't know who or what, you know, we need to come back to our God. We need to come back to our God. We need to get back to praying. We need to bring back respect and love in our children for other people. How about respect and love in ourselves? I teach my sons all the time, how do you change the world? You change the things within yourself.
And change you first.
Right? Then you teach the world how to do this, other people how to do the same. Little by little, one by one. We have to come together. We need to see about ourselves first. When I say ourselves, I mean our people. Because we are so always trying to be so encompassing and coming, and, you know, open to other people, and the next thing you know, we don't have ourselves. We still don't have ourselves. Love other people, embrace other people. But build us. That's what we need to do. build
Yes,
us.
absolutely. And having said that, it's 5 o'clock, so we need to go. But I hope you were able to glean something from this discussion that we had. So there's a lot of work that has been done. You know, we don't want to be dismissive of all the good work that's been done on the part of everyone that was actively engaged in getting the work done and were successful in getting it done. People of all races, of all shades, you know, all nationalities coming together and getting the work done, because we couldn't have done it without them, and they couldn't have done it without us. It took everybody to work together to get it done.
That's right.
So I hope in the spirit of that
Salt,
that we
pepper.
continue to keep that going, so
paprika.
that we can continue to do the work that continues to need to be done. I think every day we need to be doing the work. You know, our work is never finished. So thank you everyone for listening to Family Matters. Thanks, Monty, for being here. I hope you can come back again. It's a great discussion with you as always. If you missed us today, you can hear us again tomorrow from 3 to 4 on Good News Radio, WYGG 88.1 FM. Thank you, everyone. Have a good night. Bonsoir tout le monde.
Bonsoir.
We all can agree that raising a family in these times is challenging. With everything being so exposed and accessible through social media and the influence that come along with it, how do we find the balance?
Does your child feel confined and has no outlet?
Sasha, meet me in the bathroom so we can take our Instagram pics, because you know once I get home they won't let me out.
Would your child come to you when they need help?
Mom, I'm in trouble and I don't know what to do.
Do you know the signs when your child is crying out for help?
Nicholson, you don't listen. The school has called me and now I have to attend another school meeting. This time you lose your video games for 2 months.
Do you and your family need access to resources?
I lost my job. How will we get our bills paid?
Does your family have expectations and boundaries for mutual respect and understanding?
I am the man of the house, but my family does not respect me.
Finally, a show where families can feel supported and get resources for guidance during these troubled times. Presented to you by Good News Community Action. Family Matters, a radio show, aired every Saturday afternoon from 4 p.m. to 5 p.m. A new segment discussing all things and situations relating to families. Family Matters Discussions, a radio show for everyone to listen together.
This is WYGG 88.1 FM, Asbury Park.